Hi and welcome to another session of advanced readings. This is a technique that we use in spiritualism a lot, and it also inspired me when I had the oracle readings through the Nadi oracles, where messages were given to me thousands of years in advance. Mind-boggling stuff. And also, of course, it's used in when you're using clairvoyance by email reading and sometimes by telephone. You know things before the person calls you. So I'm inspired by this technique and I hope it helps you. There could be a message here for you today. So you'll see me working in blue light for this, because this is how the medium can get close to spirit. We often use a red or blue light in my circle, particularly if you're doing physical or trance work. Anyway, hope you enjoy these sessions. Okay, this message of someone, there's just been an arrest. Something's happened with an arrest. I hear a name like Martin and John. These are people being involved with this, and there's been all sorts of difficulties here with this. It's been a bit sudden. I feel that you're guilty. I've got to say to you, but I feel as if you're going to get let off. That's the feeling. I feel you're going to get a warning. Let me give you some evidence of this, of where I'm getting this from, because I'm getting this message from somebody that took their own life, somebody that hung themselves or gassed themselves, because I've got something, I think I've got choking with this, and they were quite close to you before they went, and you tried to help them and talk them out of doing something silly. And this is a man that's talking to me here, a young person from spirit, wanting to connect to those names I said a minute ago. I feel the name Steve or Stephen, Steve or Steph, I think they called him. Steph, I think he called himself. And he was into drugs in a big way, I'm afraid. And I feel he wore kind of very aggressive sort of Terminator style clothes, you know, Terminator sort of jacket type of thing like Schwarzenegger wore. And I'm hearing that there was, when he went, there was something going on around, there was police sirens all around him, something else was going on at the time he took his life. I don't know if he took his life just before a big bust of some sort, because I'm getting something like that. But he was quite a character as well. I mean, he obviously, some people might judge him as being a bit of a crook, but if he was your friend, he would never let you down. And this is, you know, even despite what he was like in life, I still feel with him that the person that was very kind of really honest to his friends. You know, you could trust him. He's like, I feel like he's a fighter that, you know, you've got to be sure of your man on your right and your man on your left, and you know you've got the certainty of the person's fighting beside you is strong. So he's talking in terms of like this. So I feel he's done some time in the forces. I don't know if he was in the American army, because I'm getting an American feel with this whole thing here. And I've got a feeling, I'm not sure if what his skin colour is, because I've got a feeling he might have dark skin. So I think that's what he's showing me here. But there was also noise and fires, and I don't know if he had a mark down the side of his here, by the side of his neck. And I don't think I'm talking about a tattoo. I think I'm talking about a scar that may have been tattooed over down the side of the neck there. And so he's coming forward just to say, you're going to be all right, guys, all right? But you don't want to keep going down this path all the time, I feel he wants to say, because look what happened to me. And so he's, and one of you's off to Mexico, not on the dealing trip, I've got to say here, because all sorts of things have been going on here. But you're going down there to see friends, and this could be a turning point for you, I feel. And so he's just coming through. He comes through. I mean, I had pretty strong language, I've got to say, with him as well. Okay, so I'm just giving him as he comes to me. But you know, he says he trusts people. He trusted you guys, right? There's two of you been in a lot of serious trouble, but they're going to give you another chance, and actually it might be a good idea to take that chance. Okay, that's the message. So maybe that message was for you, and if it was, please do leave a comment in the comments below on YouTube, so that other people can recognize that this is real. I mean, if you look back at some of the older videos, you'll see that some of the most strange and obscure messages have been taken to the letter. And there's been some interesting stories that have developed once a person has made the comment. So leave a comment, and even if the message isn't for you, it's still a good idea to leave a comment, because this helps Spirit to connect with us and maybe get you a message next time. Now this message is for an older lady that's living on her own, and I'm hearing the name Betty, so I'm looking back a generation. I've not a common name nowadays, so I'm hearing the name, that the lady's name is Betty, and I feel you're in your older years, you're in your 80s and maybe beyond, and I want to give a message to you, Betty, because I feel I've got a gentleman here I feel would be your husband that wants to communicate with you. And he's a very gentle, kind soul, I've got to say, very gently spoken. He would, I feel he would have had a life. I think I'm seeing Freemasons, so I think that was part of his life, or something like that. It would have been an important part of his life, and he's still got his pinny there that he would have worn there in his cupboard. And you still keep his hat on top of the chest, on top of the wardrobe. I can see his hat on top of the wardrobe because he always loved his hats, and he was buried in a hat, I want to say, as well. They put the hat on him when he was buried, and he spoke well, spoke quite softly, he's telling me here, and he's saying that he loves you. He just wants, this is the message, he just wants to say that he loves you, because it's been very, very lonely times for you these last years, because it's a long while since he left and you didn't remarry. And he's telling me that you keep everything very spick and span and clean, and he tells me that you've got a photograph of him out all the time, but there's one special photograph you only bring out at Christmas time, and I feel you put that picture up at Christmas time as a sort of little routine to remember him. So this is part of the evidence, that's why I'm saying these things. And he's I think he says, I bought you a ruby ring, a ruby being the important one, and he keeps saying that word ruby. I don't know if there's someone called Ruby as well, but there's something about Ruby that I'm getting here. And he's and there was pearls too, I think so. I see, but he's talking about this. I've got to say, a very romantic side to him. I feel he spent some time in the services. My feeling is that he was naval sort of feel with him, is the sense I get with him. So he just wants you to know that he's there and looking over you. Okay, next link is from someone telling me the surname Fryer. There's something about Fryer is the name, and I'm hearing somebody here talking to me who's a very, very, very funny man. He's got a very good sense of humour. He's always joking. He's a real a bit of a Jack the Lad, I hear. So I don't know if his name is Jack, because I'm getting this sort of feeling here with him, and he's always betting his money, I've got to say. It's not Jack the Lad. Ernest, I think I'm hearing Ern, or he's talking about an Ernest. I don't know if Ernest was his brother or was him, because I'm a bit confused now with this, because he's a very fast speaker. He would speak very quickly to me, and I get the feeling of someone that almost talks over himself all the time. He's trying to get to a family group, right? And although his name, he's talking about friars, he's also talking about William or Williams. I think I'm talking about a family group called Williams, and they were in Wales. Okay, so this is for Wales. This is something to do with Wales, and he's talking about the Williams group in Wales, a group, a family group that either are watching this now, or you, the recipient of this message, would remember that group, because I'm getting all the sheep on the fields and all the old stone walls and things like that. So I think it's Wales that I'm in, or somewhere very similar looking to Wales, but I get the feeling he's patriotic Welsh. And so he's talking about Yeah, because I feel he served in the army, in the Welsh, in a particular Welsh regiment as well, and was proud to serve his country, not just Wales but the United Kingdom as well. So there's a strong feeling with him. He says that he met royalty once in his life and shook hands with royalty. There was something here where he shook hands with royalty. You will remember the story. The person receiving this message would remember the story because he went on about it a lot. I think it was Prince Charles he's talking about. He shook Prince Charles' hand and something funny happened, something amusing, something peculiar, made you laugh, sort of thing. You know, he said, one said to the other something and the other retorted. It's like a bit of wit going on here. And he was very angry about Mountbatten, so there's being blown up. So there's this sort of, and there's a lot of Mountbatten stuff in the press at the moment, isn't there? So I feel he's sort of sticking up for the man. You know, that's the feeling I get here with him, because there was this strong feeling of patriotic, you know, patriotic. And talking about the day we went to the zoo, something like that. We went to the zoo, and there was the day out at the zoo. I think we went down to Bristol Zoo, and he's talking about a group of 5 people, and we rode the camel. Okay, and he's and there was that was around November time or something, because there was fireworks. All right, so these are all sort of things I'm giving to, would be specific to you who's receiving this message, would understand these things to help me prove that this really is the man making this communication here. So I wasn't quite sure of his name, whether it was Jack or Ernest or something like that. I think I got it wrong, but there's this strong connection with the Welsh and staying in Wales, and there's like a strong feeling with Wales with him. So they're not Welsh names, so I'm a little bit wrong there. Probably a David, isn't there, if he's Welsh, but I can't. Actually, I think it is, because he slaps you around the head and says, "That's it." Okay, David, that's his name, David. All right, David. Okay, all right. Yeah, okay, because he says we're all Welsh, he said, and there was Ewan as well, who was his best mate that he was in the army with, who died. Okay, so that's the message for the evidence. What have you got to say? Well, there's a group of you watching this, because it's been passed around, and he's saying that he's sending his love to all of you, and the message was first heard right round the time of what would have been his birthday. Okay, so you heard the message on YouTube at the time of his birthday, and he's just saying, he's just making connections with the family, and just saying hello to everybody, and who would have ever thought that you'd have got a message this way from the Spirit through YouTube, which wasn't even invented at the time he was walking around the earth. Okay, thank you. So I hope that helped, because it's lovely doing this and giving messages to people out there, and I know some of you get very excited by the messages that you get, so thank you for your feedback. And if you do enjoy watching all this, why not come and get a reading at my website, because I've got a team of readers, you know, that are on there 24/7, and there's lots of special deals there at the moment. For example, in the UK, if you're a new customer, you can use our welcome offer and get 29 pence a minute for the first 10 minutes, so you can try a reading for very little. Same with the USA, we've got 59 cents per minute for the first 10 minutes on the welcome offer. So thanks for watching my channel, and do come back and follow us. Click that little bell thingy at the bottom of the page there. We do loads of things here, as well as all these readings. We've got my family involved, we've got all sorts of investigations, we've got my mystic talks, so we're inspired, we got lots of readings, you'll see our stuff with the media and all sorts of things. So keep watching, and keep watching now, because coming up will be the playlist of more videos like this one today, so there could be another message there for you today.